Hello, assalamu alaikum. A very good day, everyone. My name is Amir Haiqal. I am your senior from UiTM Hill. I just finished my LLB, the final year of law degree at UiTM Shalom, and currently waiting to do my chambering in September. So I was contacted by Madam Namira, my beloved lecturer, and I believe your beloved lecturer as well, to share with all of you about mooting. So Madam Namira gave me a set of questions to answer, and she asked me to share my experience in mooting with all of you. So my journey in mooting started in 2017 when I participated in the internal moot competition, the inter-part moot competition among the law students in my batch, and my team and I won that competition, and I was awarded the best mooter. And then I got recruited into the UiTM moot team, and I went to several competitions like the NAMCO in 2017, and in 2019 I went to the foreign direct investment, the FDI moot competition for the Asia Pacific round in Korea and for the global round in Miami. And in 2020 we were supposed to go to Korea once again for the global round. Because of the pandemic, we had to compete online via Zoom. But it was a great experience as well. UiTM managed to get 7th place overall alongside other top universities. So it's a great accomplishment for UiTM. And most recently, this year, I joined the Sports Arbitration Moot Competition, SAMCO, and my team and I was awarded the special award by the organizer. So that is my journey in mooting. Alright, let's go to the first question. What is mooting in general? I think you can get the answer online on the internet, but basically mooting is an oral presentation of legal arguments. You would be given a set of facts and a moot problem where you have to analyze and dissect and formulate your argument from. So in mooting we have the appellant, the one that will bring the issue, and the respondent, the one that will respond to the issues raised by the appellant. Next, how is the flow of mooting? Is it the same with debate where we need to counter all the points from the opponent side? Well, it depends on the moot competition format, but normally the appellant would be the one to start. So the appellant would raise the issues, and then the respondent would respond to the issues raised, and then the appellant would rebut to that response, and finally the respondent would rebut to that rebuttal by the appellant. So that is the standard format in mooting competitions. But there are competitions like the FDI that I joined in 2019 and 2020 where the respondent would start first. Alright, so normally in those kind of competitions the respondent would start first to object to the jurisdiction of the court or the tribunal in dealing with the case. Right, the respondent is challenging the jurisdiction of the court in that particular case. So that's why the respondent would start first, and the appellant would then respond to that. So it depends on the competition format. Next, how do we prepare the arguments? So how do you prepare the arguments? First and foremost, it's very important for you to analyze and understand the moot problem, and then you can formulate your argument from that. How do you formulate your argument? You can start with the heading. For example, ABC is liable for is liable for defamation against DEF, and then you have the subheading to establish the element of defamation, and then you apply, and finally you have a conclusion to close that submission or to close that ground. All right. Next, how many grounds do each of the counsel need to bring up or address? Does it depend on the moot question itself? Yes, it would depend on the moot question or the moot problem. So let's say you have 4 grounds from the moot problem and you have 2 counsels. So you divide among yourselves. One counsel address 2 issues. Next, what are the salutations or the way to address the court? Okay, this is very important. If there is one judge, you address him as Young Arif. If there is more than one judge, you address them as Young Arif, Young Arif. If it is in an arbitration setting, and if there's one person presiding over the tribunal, you would be addressing him as Mr. President. If there's more than one person presiding in the case, you would be addressing them as panel of arbitrators. So Mr. President and panel of arbitrators. And sometimes you can call them as the members of the tribunal. So Mr. President and members of the tribunal. So it depends on the situations. Next, if we don't know the question asked by judges, what do we need to do? Okay, well, you cannot simply say that you don't know, right? You cannot say that I have no answer to that, right? That would not be proper, right? So what should you say? The last resort is to say, Young Arif, my apologies, I may not be able to assist you on that matter. But that is the last resort, right? Before you get to that, do not simply give up. Try to analyze the question. Use your critical thinking skills to relate the question with what you have prepared, the arguments that you have, and try to answer that question. Okay. Next, what are the challenges in online mooting? How is it different from physical moot? Well, online mooting is slightly different from physical moot because you are basically looking at the screen. You are addressing the court through the screen. So the court would not be able to assess your demeanor, your confidence, your breathing, to see whether you are nervous or not. So in that situation, if you are in an online mooting setting, please make sure to maintain your eye contact on the camera so that the court would be able to feel that you are addressing them, you are basically talking to them, submitting to them. The mistakes that mooters normally make when it comes to online mooting is that they tend to read their scripts instead of submitting, right? This is not a script reading competition. This is mooting, all right? So you need to persuade the court, you need to address the court, and basically submit and not read. Okay, next, madam asked me to show a demonstration, a simulation on how to moot. But before I get there, I just want to share some important tips when it comes to mooting. If you want to disagree with the court for some reason, for example, if the judge says something, the judge makes a statement, and you disagree with that statement, you cannot simply say that, Young Arif, I disagree with you. That is not proper, that is not polite. So what should you say? Young Arif, thank you. However, I humbly beg to differ on that point. And then you address your points. Okay, that's a polite way to basically say that you disagree with the court. And second, if you find that you have like 1 minute left and you still have a lot more to say, do not ignore the time. You have to tell the court that, Young Arif, I notice or I see that my time is almost up. May I request for an extension of time? If the court says yes, the court gives you like 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then you proceed. Okay, do not simply ignore the time. And last but not least, if let's say the court corrects you, if the judge corrects you on a certain matter, what should you say? I mean, you can say, Young Arif, I stand corrected. Thank you. So I'll do a demonstration on how to moot, how you should address the court, how you should raise your argument, and so on. Okay. Young Arif, may it please this honorable court. My name is Amir Haiqal, and with me is my co-counsel ABC. Together we appear before the court on behalf of the appellant DEF. On the respondent side, we have GHI and JKL representing XYZ. Young Arif, my co-counsel, and I have 2 grounds of contention to submit. First, second, we would each require 20 minutes of the court's time for our submission, and we would like to reserve 2 minutes for rebuttals. Before I begin, would the court require a brief statement of facts? If the judge says yes, then you address the court with a brief statement of facts. If the judge says no, then you proceed with your submission. So how do you begin with your submission? Yang Arif, beginning with the first ground. It is our submission that ABC is liable for defamation against DEF. And then you begin with the subheading. Establish the element of defamation, the law on defamation, and then apply, and finally conclusion. When you want to wrap up your submission, you say, Yang Arif, if there are no further inquiries from this honorable court, I thank the court for its time and indulgence. Thank you. So that's how you properly end your submission. Okay, so I hope these tips would be beneficial to all of you. All the best in your assessments. Take care and stay safe. Assalamualaikum.